Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, May 4th. Just wanted to again check in and talk a little bit about what we're going to be working on this week. Before we get started with that, though, I really just want to acknowledge all the work that you've been doing, and I know that it's not easy. I've definitely had moments myself where I haven't been particularly motivated to work in this way just because it's unusual and it's hard to kind of sometimes get myself moving and log onto the computer, and it's hard not being with people and doing this type of work. So for those of you that are struggling, I understand what you're going through, and I just want to thank you guys all for kind of sticking with it and doing the best that you can. So I've got a bit of a poll today to just ask you some questions about the work that we've been doing so far. What are some of the things that you like? What are some of the things that maybe you want to do more of or less of, to see if we can't structure this in a way that's going to work for everyone. So for this week, again, I'm just going to release one document, and that's going to be today. So it's going to be the Materials Economy Booklet 2, Part D. And in this particular booklet, we're looking at 2 stages of the materials economy. There are 5 in total, and we've looked at 2 so far. So we've looked at stage 1, which is the extraction stage, right, where we take all of those natural resources and then move into stage 2, where we actually turn those natural resources into usable products. And we sort of discovered that many of our products come from places that are pretty far away. Unless it's typically a food item, most of our stuff that we're buying are tables and chairs and clothing, especially, and our shoes. They're all coming from places that come from far away. And so we really looked at where is our stuff being made and by whom is it being made, because those are really important questions, right? And we have an obligation to sort of have knowledge about what's happening with the stuff that we're buying. And that really leads us into this 3rd stage, which is the distribution stage, because they're all kind of tied together, right? So if we're getting much of our products from places that are very far away, then that has an impact on how we get those products, right? How they're distributed to us. And so that has an impact on climate and carbon. It has an impact on the workers that are working in those conditions. It has an impact also on our own local economies. If we're buying stuff that's mostly from other places, then that means that we're not buying stuff that will support our local economy. And it has implications. So things that we just have to think about and look at. Not necessarily all bad, but just things that we have to be aware of when we're trying to be a conscious consumer. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So that's the distribution stage. So we're going to do a bit of a case study. So we'll look at a company that's trying to make some changes with the way that they distribute their products. And so we'll read a little case study and try and give some explanation in terms of what we think might be best to help them. And then we're going to take a look at the consumption stage. So once we have all these products and we've got them in our home, we like to consume them, and that also has implications. And it's really interesting because what we've actually noticed about the situation that we're in right now is that we start to realize that, maybe we don't need as much stuff as we actually thought that we did. And so it's times like these when we have to stop and think and reflect that it becomes evident that maybe our consumption patterns can change, and maybe they can change for the better. So we'll do a little bit of a lot of self-reflecting when it comes to consumption. So how much do you consume, and why do you consume things the way that you do? Oh my gosh, Marley's going crazy over there. She's destroying her bed. Ay. What have I done? And so that's going to take us to the end of stage 4. And then we have one stage left, which is the disposal stage, which is really fascinating. And then we'll have to sort of a project to sum everything up. So I'm going to release all of this today. So you'll get the video, You'll get also the handout. And again, it's due on Friday. So as best you can. I know things are going on with life, and some of you are actually still working. So, if you need some extra time, that's okay too. We'll just sort of work through this as best we can. And I think that's it for this week. I'm trying to sort of learn this whole Microsoft Teams thing. Some of you may be familiar with it with other classes, but I'm having quite a time trying to get it up and running. So that's kind of my goal this week, is to try and get that started. So you may see in your email that I've invited you to join our geography team. So I'm hoping to either do like a full meeting with everyone at the end of the week, or small group meetings. I'm going to try and figure that out. So watch for those emails. And if you're around when I set up those meetings, then we'll try and meet, and really just to check in. I won't be doing any sort of like lessons or anything, but more so just to give us a chance to see each other and chat. And if you have any questions, then you can do that there. So that's my goal for this week, try and figure out Teams and get it to work. I try to practice with my daughter and it's not working, so I got some work to do. In any case, I miss you guys, and I really thank you for all the work that you're doing and sticking with it. And again, as always, reach out if you need any help. Okay, ciao.